All right, everyone, I really do feel for you Bernie Sanders fans right now, but as he was leaving the hospital, the doctors confirmed, yeah, by the way, it wasn't just angina he had, it was actually a heart attack. His campaign is therefore done. He's not going to be able to recover from this. From the heart attack, yeah, I mean, he has a mild heart attack, he gets a stent put in. My dad had a heart attack years and years ago, has, I think, 2 stents in his heart, and has done fine, but he's not 78 years old and attempting to run a 7-day-a-week campaigning schedule that will require months and months and months of extremely rigorous work. Imagine if he gets in as the nominee in the general election. I don't think he's physically capable of doing that, and I think if his doctors, if the medical team that worked on him is sane, they've already told him, look, you're not going to be able to do it. It's simply impossible. Physically, you're an older man. It doesn't matter if you're in good health for your age. You've just had a heart attack. You're in your late 70s. You need to stop or you may very well die, which is the truth. He may very well die if he continues. If you're a Sanders fan and you're like, well, the revolution, socialism's not that bad. We need more welfare or whatever. You have to at some point pass the torch from somebody who's nearing 80 years old to somebody else. It's not like the Democratic Party hasn't lurched so far left off a cliff at this point that Bernie Sanders is even the furthest left within the party. I can remember a time very, very shortly ago, not that many years ago, I'm already well in my 20s, when Bernie Sanders was considered too far left to be a Democrat. One of the reasons why he was an independent in part was the unpalatability of someone self-proclaiming a socialist platform existing in a party that had people who were very much center-left and in some cases not even quite that. You had Democrats potentially vulnerable, if that were to happen, if the party went too far left, within some of these, regions within the country, like a Manchin. You think Joe Manchin in West Virginia, who threw the Democrats under the bus, by the way, wasn't it on Kavanaugh, I believe, voted in favor of that. In the end, somebody like that potentially could be vulnerable if you get a national platform that's too far left. You have to be able to manage the needs of the party members. The party isn't just one platform thing. It has multiple platforms on a more local and state level. Bernie Sanders, though, having had a heart attack, can no longer, I think, reasonably continue. He should drop out, but the thing is he's very feisty and he's very stubborn, so he probably won't. Now, he's swearing up and down he's going to attend the next debate. He may very well do so. The problem is that unless he were to absolutely knock it out of the park, I mean, he'd have to go into this debate like a fucking tornado and destroy everything in his path in order to have a way forward. Because everyone will be looking, the first thing that they're going to see on the debate stage is Bernie Sanders and whether he looks healthy. So if he doesn't look like he just shot steroids straight into his jugular vein, optically it's just not going to work for him. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised. Watch this. I wouldn't be surprised if they shoehorn a question about his health into the debate. In which case, he and Biden are the big losers because there's only one other person up on stage that's had a health problem anytime recently, as far as I know of. Beto O'Rourke, he still skateboards around just fine. Tulsi Gabbard and Buttigieg are in their 30s. Some of these people are perfectly healthy. It's funny that the one that comes out smelling like a rose arguably is Warren. She's 71. We've gotten to the point where within lamestream politics, we're looking at a woman who's already in her 70s and saying, oh, what a young and vibrant and energetic candidate. She looks very astute and cleaned up and stuff because she's being compared to dudes that are, Biden's like 76, 77 or something. He blows a gasket and his eye starts bleeding randomly. He relapses into word salad. He doesn't know what he's doing, gets confused. We've got Bernie Sanders. He's slowing down. He has a fucking heart attack in the middle of the primary season. At the worst possible juncture, too. You're about to go into that fourth debate. The year's going to flip over. It's not that many weeks left until we're back in the 20s. And then it's, basically full throttle until the voting happens. Do you think that Bernie Sanders is going to be able to keep it up? I would ask his fans, would you force this man to run against the obvious wishes, I am certain, 100% if his medical team's competent, of all of the doctors that have worked with him, and probably at this point some of his family members that are like, hey, great-great-granddad, because I think he he has, great grandkids at this point. We'd like you to be around for a couple more years. Okay, yes, socialism, socialism. We know back in your day, socialism was popular, so don't worry about it too much. Don't worry, there are plenty of other socialists within the Democratic Party. There's a whole new crop of them. They'll probably get kicked back out for being dumb, but they're there. AOC exists. Why don't you have her groom her to be the next Bernie Sanders? Give her more DNC backing. It's funny to watch her back Pelosi into a corner on impeachment. That's the sort of vibrant shit you need. Nothing says socialism like an old man having a heart attack and, using his congressional taxpayer-funded Medicaid or whatever the fuck they get in order to take care of the problem. But, I mean, come on. The dude is fossilized at this point. He's not the same Bernie Sanders he was before. I've noticed it myself. I'm not even one of his fans, and I've noticed it. So I would say he's done. The odds of him getting in were always a long shot anyway, because Biden and Warren exist, and arguably even Buttigieg. I would say that it's zero now, though. I just don't see any road to victory for him. I don't understand. He should drop out and endorse somebody. It'd be very funny to see who he ends up endorsing, because I can't imagine that he could possibly, in a million years, actually endorse Elizabeth Warren without completely destroying what's left of his reputation. It's already teetering on the edge, arguably, because of his endorsement of Clinton before. Oh, I'm going to fight the billionaire class. Oh, here, let me endorse somebody who takes money from billionaires. It didn't look good for him. Elizabeth Warren's the same kind of person as Hillary Clinton. She's just more tactful about it. He can't really endorse Biden's platform, but he's his fellow old geriatric dude with health problems, so that might help. Buttigieg might not be viable, and Kamala Harris is faltering so badly she can't even get her own crowd to cheer on the possibility of a presidency. I don't know who the fuck he endorses. I guess he has to just drop out and wait and see who the nominee is and endorse him after they're nominated. He's too old to get a kickback at care at this point anyway. He's already got the money he needs, I suppose. Maybe Bernie Sanders, he just gets totally corrupt. He says, fuck this, and he takes his money and he just starts like buying gold, penthouses and hookers and cocaine and stuff like that. That'd be really funny. It'd also be typical socialism. That's about all. Peace out.